There's a little buzzing.
We're live.
Go live. We
Hello.
are live.
Hello and welcome back to episode 21, where we will be talking a little bit about strain mixology with Uncle Steve, a welcome character on this show. Make sure that y'all tag your friends, like, follow, and share, and make sure that you subscribe as well for those post-show viewers, and we will get right into that intro.
Antenna vibes under the big sky. 4-6 Budcast gonna get you high. Adam and Tanaki and Nate bringing the heat. No time to wait. From the mountains to the plains, we're fucking up, break your chains. Every topic, every strain in this cannabis domain. 4-6 Budcast, let's celebrate. Rolling up, it's time to celebrate. Adam and Tanaki and Nate and Montana, we dominate. From the soul of the villas, we're on the map. Lighting up the scene, ain't no cap. Hip-hop beats in the background as we drop knowledge profound. From CBD to THC, we're breaking down the chemistry in this podcast symphony. Come join our THC family.
Guys, we're back.
All right, welcome back, Budcasters. So we got a pretty exciting episode like we were talking about earlier. We've got Uncle Steve in here with the Mixology, going to be talking about some strains. Of course, we have Tanaki here with her tenacious questions that she throws out there for Are You Smarter Than Stoner? Got Michelle and Hannah in the back of the house tonight, keeping us in line and keeping things going. Got Daniel across the board, and we've got Adam as well out here, kicking it in from a hard day's work, but throwing in for the Budcast and making sure he's getting it done. So, we got what do we got as far as the mixology strains that we're talking about, Steve?
We're still going straight in there.
Oh, we're going straight in. No.
Boom, segment one. All right. I mean, I can remember them off the top of my head. I know that you've got a little bit of a
I
cheat
got
there.
them right here. I got a cheat sheet because I can't remember stuff anymore.
Hey, that's all right. You know what? That's called preparation, people.
I got a cheat sheet too, so don't worry.
Right. So my first one that I've really been enjoying a lot lately, because I like to do the mixes for going to sleep, mostly just to separate my body, mind, and soul.
Nice.
All the way, pick it apart, into 3 different subunits, and then crash them out individually. So I started playing around with a lot of heavy indicas, and then you guys had an opportunity for me to try lavender, which is a good mild smoke.
Yeah.
It's a very flavorful smoke too, which I always enjoy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't super heavy to go to sleep with. So I was like, well, I'll mix this with some good old standard, Black Bubba and then white truffle. I always think white widow sometimes, but it's white truffle.
Yeah, white truffles.
And lavender on its own is a nice mild smoke, but you mix it with something and you just compound whatever you smoke it with. Double or triple fold,
just amplify it.
Yeah, if you're wanting to just crash out and go to sleep, that's the avenue. Those two, just lavender, and of course lavender mixes great with everything though. If you're just wanting to enhance a single weed, it seems that lavender is the way to go with that.
Nice. So your recommendation to some people out there is that's one of those good staple, throw it in with everything and see what you can come up with.
Yeah, because it just I've never gone wrong with it. And even if you're not a big I'm not a big diesel or glue fan, I'll throw some lavender in those, because then I get that more earthy and organic to feel the fruitier flavors and stuff. I like more of the flower fruitier flavors than I do the diesels and chemically flavors.
Nice.
So that's always a good one to throw in there with that if you're wanting to get to better flavor too.
Okay. So between the two strains that you mixed up, what do you think as far as the effects went on one versus the other, and how you like those?
Well, with the Bubba, with mixing it with Black Bubba, that one was definitely a lot more body. Very made your body just feel like 1,000 pounds and just buries right into the mattress.
Nice.
And that's what I'm looking for, is just to melt into my bed.
I feel like that's what a lot of our customers that come in, a lot of people that I talk to, that's what they say that they want this for, is to relax at the end of the day. So I think that's a pretty standard experience these days.
Yeah, I think the relaxation is definitely something that's key. And one of the things that I think that is cool that people like Steve are able to come in and sort of share their experience, and we're able to pass that on to other people for sure.
Yeah. And it's a good 50-50 mix too. You just mix it 50-50, one bud work for one bud and grind it up and bam. It's good smoke. Make sure you mix it real nice too.
I was gonna say, hey, if your ratios aren't perfect, it's a little different experience every time.
Yeah.
Exactly. I try to keep with the 50-50 and then modify from there. You know, if I get some Gorilla Glue, because Gorilla Glue is real heavy too, right?
Yeah.
But it's got that more chemically flavor to it. I then enjoy putting in some lavenders.
Yeah, I bet you that you're absolutely blowing people's minds right now, because a lot of people probably don't even or have never tried mixing strains at all. I mean, why would you? You just buy your one strain, you smoke it all, and you buy another strain, and so on and so forth. No, you got to try mixing a couple. Take a strong sativa and a strong indica, smoke them both at the same time, and see what happens.
Right. Christine, yes, he did say black bubba and lavender, as well as mixing white truffle and lavender.
Nice. So, I mean, we also talk about that entourage effect and stuff like that when it comes in for terpenes and things like that. So you're bringing in a separate terpene profile from those particular cannabinoids versus, what you have in lavender. And I think that plays an interesting effect on how that's going to play out. I'm very interested to hear some more about the mixes that you're going to come up with. So what's your preferred method of smoking? Do you do it in joint, bowl?
I enjoy just bowl and a pipe, and I'm a little old school on that.
Just dry bowl.
I enjoy the
A hand pipe or water pipe?
hand pipe, but water pipe is nice too.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with a water pipe.
No.
Smoke pancake.
Bong and a blitz.
Pipe and a grape.
All right, so one of these Friday nights we're gonna do pancakes too.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, we've got coffee this evening. I mean, this is delicious.
Straight up from the Buzzed Bean, and we've got to thank them for their support out here.
Yeah, it was delicious. That's gone.
And it may or may not have had a little bit of special flavor added to it.
Yeah. If you guys have never had coffee with butter in it, I would recommend that you give it a try. And if it happens, butter that you made at home, I mean, all the better.
Or the way we
So,
used to
and-
say it, special butter.
It's very special. So, and the one thing we do have to throw out there just for the regulators is that, this is for educational purposes only. We're, not out here making any medical recommendations, but, we're going to be covering all kinds of stuff that includes some things medical and stuff like that. But do your own research, folks.
Yeah, do not try this at home.
Make your own opinions, so on and so forth.
But definitely listen to Uncle Steve over here because he's got some dank ass mixology going on.
Oh yeah, you got a couple more, don't you?
Oh, that was the two ones. This was just a list of their.
Oh, it was the list of the ones you were crossing over together.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are some of those terpene profiles that were thrown out there with lavender and stuff?
Here, I'm gonna give this over to Adam because my eyesight's not that good. Neither is my phonics.
Your pahonics.
What's the name of these terpenes?
So in the lavender, as we were talking about, I believe it was last week or the week before, the cheese and things like that with the linalool.
Yeah.
It is the dominant terp in lavender is that linalool, which comes in with that floral taste and that relaxing feeling.
Delivers deep relaxation.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That's going to get you in the mattress, folks.
So that's where I'd be thinking, I get to relax with the lavender, and then that white truffle gets to come in with that really nice fucking stone that really slaps.
That earthy flavor too.
Creating like an entourage version of a wake and bake almost, making you really tired before you get really super baked.
That white truffle melting your brain.
A lavender souffle with a white truffle on it.
Right.
Thanks for
And
stopping
then
by.
I see we got a lot of caraphyllene popping up there along with the myrcene. Caraphyllene appearing to get along down here in the black bubble with the limonene and the humulene bringing in that earthy appetite suppressant, which is like what?
Black bubble
Like
with
if
the
you're
appetite
trying
suppressant.
not to like eat everything in the fridge, you're definitely gonna want to try to find some humulene. But then be careful because once you get some limonene and caraphyllene in there, it's just gonna counteract it.
I was just going to say white truffle is one of the munchiest strains I've ever had.
You're going to have the munchies light.
Yeah.
Prep your bed, your headboard or whatever with some snacks before you fall into bed because you're not going to be able to get up to go get snacks. So just take some snacks.
You're going to wish that you had them, though.
We were talking about strategic snack placement earlier today
Yes,
in
we
reference.
Yeah, you definitely want to get those in.
in there. I guess, some people will have strategic weapon placement through the house, gun behind the door, gun under the chair, gun over here, gun over there. No, gummy bears behind the door, Fritos beside the chair.
I feel
Some
like
pizza
stoner
pockets.
life and toddler life.
And toddler life. Yeah.
Yeah, Tanaki's welcome into that one right now. Enjoying the infinite snacks.
Oh, yeah. So
Infinite.
is my child.
Oh yeah.
Well, Daniel did get caught eating her gummy bears. So
Uh-oh.
Who's gummy bears?
Eva's.
Yeah, that was just dad tax. Come on now.
Yeah. Simple dad tax. Got to make sure it's not poisonous.
She
Right.
fully understands tax.
Checking the trick or treat candy out.
Right.
Make sure there's no razor blades.
It's a family. Taking your kids snacks is a family safety issue, and I support it.
So we've got an event coming up on the calendar, guys, on October 5th starting at 9 a.m. The rebranding party for the 406 Organics Zoo Drive location down there. Man, you're gonna want to get down there and check out the party. I understand there's a lot going on. You want to give some info on that, man?
We've got a rebranding going on out there, Zoo Drive. If you swing off of the exit, it's right across from the Honda Power Sports dealership right there in the Future Homes of America parking lot.
Right.
We're going to have some prizes, some games, all kinds of giveaways going on. Obviously, the Mountain Organics, they're going to be out there with some of their special stuff that they do. We've got Jolene Rides Horse. She's agreed to come out and do some tacos, Indian tacos, some other good fare out there that's going to be thrown down. Music, probably, cornhole, some other good games in the parking lot. Music going on all day. But overall, just want to, get the word out to everybody else and let everybody know that got a lot of fun coming up on the October 5th weekend and a lot of great deals coming up as well. So.
Absolutely looking forward to seeing how it turns out, man. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, it's opportunity for everybody to come down, meet the whole staff, meet everybody on the crew, meet the Budcast. The Budcast going to be out there running some stuff live. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to see who wins if you can beat the Budcast at Cornhole.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure Nate's going to be representing on that. I'm
Hey, man,
not that great.
I'm not your Shaquille O'Neal, brother. Like I'm probably gonna
You're
thank you
setting
for
us
you.
up for some pretty big.
I was going to say,
Now,
I actually am the Shaquille O'Neal.
If this
'cause I
was
can't even
beer
hit the
pong,
fucking
dude, I
free
got
throw,
you all
dude.
day long, bro. But when we're talking like cornhole, like I know some people that I would.
What if we play bong pong?
Can I phone a friend?
I want to play cornhole.
We can totally play
Can I
bong
post
pong.
up there for the day?
All right, let's go.
There you
Hell
go.
yeah.
Boom.
Tanaki's got us represented on cornhole.
deal.
I know if the Thomases are out there, they like competition cornhole. So we got to watch out for those guys. If you see Josh Thomas and his dad walk up, just run.
Well, maybe we need to come up and figure out a good prize, that we can give away. Maybe like a good piece of glass or something out there. Put it in the comments. What do you guys think we should be giving away?
Sounds like
I need a
good one,
warm
man.
up round or two.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna need to
The cornhole.
Oh yeah.
Get them
the
cobwebs out.
wrist down and stuff like that. Got to get it out there. So, I mean, we got some crazy stuff going on in the news industry. We've got our strain of the week that it always comes through on popular demand, or by popular poll, should I say. Weed and words and pre-games and coffees and things.
and things.
And we've also got the questions this week. I did get some questions going.
I heard from a little birdie that all the answers are going to be C.
No, we'll see how true that is today.
We'll see.
We will
I
see.
heard B, so
That's what I was told. It was B.
B.
I think she's
I'm not paying attention to any of this rumor or
Who
innuendo.
knows?
they're all going to be A guys.
Mm.
Should we jump into our strain of the week?
I'm totally down to cover that strain of the week. I think that's a pretty good one. I mean,
Oh.
everybody's been out there hitting the polls pretty hard.
Hell yeah. So let's take about 3 minutes, you guys. Get out there, get smoking, tag your friends in the chat. We're going to take those 3 minutes to crank out this strain of the week.
Dreams in every hit, feel the passion every little bit. Relax, unwind, let your worries fade. Leave behind the stress of the day. Forbidden fruit, taste the high, reach for the stars, touch the sky. Let your body melt into the groove. Feel the tingle, let it soothe. Anxiety gone, pain disappears in this moment. No more fears. Oh, forbidden fruit, you're my light, shining through the darkest night. Versatile, resilient, strong, easy to grow, you can't go wrong. From indoors to open sky, she grows tall, reaching for the prize. Berry sweetness, lemon so bright, cushion pine, it feels just right. Relax. Relax, unwind, let your worries fade. Leave behind the stress of the day. Forbidden fruit, taste the high. Reach for the stars, touch the sky. Let your body melt into the groove. Feel the tingle, let it soothe. Anxiety gone, pain disappears. In this moment, no more fears. Oh, forbidden fruit, you're my light. Shining through the darkest night. Versatile, resilient, strong. Easy to grow, you can't go wrong. From indoors to open sky, she grows tall, reaching for the prize. Berry sweetness, lemon so bright, cushion pine, it feels just right. Relax. Relax, unwind, let your worries fade. Leave behind the stress of the day. Forbidden fruit, taste the high. Reach for the stars, touch the sky. Let your body melt into the groove. Feel the tingle, let it soothe. Anxiety gone, pain disappears. In this moment, no more fears. Oh, forbidden fruit, you're my light. Shining through the darkest night. Forbidden fruit, and dry your eyes. Resilient, shining under the skies. Bountiful harvest, blessings all around. In your embrace, peace is found. Forbidden fruit, taste the high. Reach for the stars, touch the sky. Let your body melt into the groove. Feel the tingle, let it soothe. Anxiety gone, pain disappears. In this moment, no more fears. Oh, forbidden fruit, you're my light. Shining through the darkest night. Fruit, sweet and true. I'm feeling free, all because of you.
All right, so that's a look at our strain of the week. Daniel, Tanaki, who wants to take it? I know we all got a copy of it. This is actually one of my top 3 favorite strains, I will admit.
I think Daniel's got this one.
Go for it.
All right, I'm down. Let's talk about it. We got Forbidden Fruit. It is a mouth-watering even cross of cherry pie and tangy. Now, tangy being one of my favorite strains of all time, it is a fantastic orangey flavor. I wonder how that translates into Forbidden Fruit. I got to admit, it's not one of my most well-known strains, but we'll get into some of your experience in just a sec. This sumptuous genetic cross expresses a beautiful, dense bud structure with deep purple hues. That makes a lot of sense. Dark green foliage and wiry orange hairs. The terpene profile is a perfect mixture of cherry pie's musky sweet cherry and tangy's loud tropical flavors. There are also notes of pine, mango, and passion fruit candy. The indica effect hits hard between the eyes and late into the body with each hit. Forbidden Fruit's deep physical relaxation and mental stoniness make it perfect for dulling minor physical discomfort and discarding stress. You know, I thought that the tangy strains were more of a sativa hybrid, but maybe that's just in effect.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, every strain or every cut of Forbidden Fruit that I've had from Oregon to Montana, Colorado, Florida, every one of them have had the exact same characteristics of that dark purple with green hue, orange hairs all over it. It's not always the prettiest looking bud, but it's in my experience, it's always came in with a really good tangerine, like a fresh peeled halo. It smells like that when you open it up. It tastes like that when you smoke on it. It's honestly one of my favorites. And I mean, it doesn't test high. This is one of those things that's going to prove to you that it's not always about THC, but more about terpenes. Yeah. Because it usually comes in about like a 14 to an 18% or something like that. And
this isn't specified in this case, but usually people over expect on strains a lot, especially in this state.
They want, 30, 40% and stuff like that. We don't like to equate it to alcohol very often, but realistically, it's a lot like going out and buying Everclear and constantly looking for Everclear. So that's what you're looking for with the highest THC. Sometimes you should dial it back and maybe just have a mixed vodka drink that isn't, almost 200 proof or whatever.
Yeah, those high THC ones really mess up your tolerance too.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed as well. If
they
I
just
too
build
much
it
of the 31% or something like that, then
they just build it higher and higher and higher, and just so much faster too. But if you smoke on something a little more balanced, something with some other cannabinoids in it too, it it'll rock your socks. You'll be surprised.
That's exactly what
Go
happened.
into the
with
store
this.
and get something with a really low percent
with high terpenes.
with high terps. Yes, that be specific on that.
That's exactly how that happened. I had some cement shoes that just was not getting me stoned. It was 33%. I was in Oregon. So what the fuck, man? This isn't doing nothing. And I went in and they had something on discount for the 8th. And it was like $10 for the 8th out there or something, and it didn't look the greatest, but it was called Forbidden Fruit. And I was like, we'll give this a try. And literally it hit way harder at 14 than the cement shoes did at 33.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's where I got my mix on. I started throwing 50% forbidden fruit into the cement shoes just to actually stretch the forbidden fruit out longer because I wasn't getting stoned with cement shoes at all.
Probably getting much better stuff off of it because you're adding those two together, I would imagine.
Yeah, but even just the forbidden fruit alone, I guess, I react really well to that citrusy terpene profile and things like that. And the cherry pie tangy. Yeah, it really brings out a cerebral but relaxing stone for me.
I get that with the green crack quite a bit. So really nice, relaxed, cerebral stone, but it doesn't make me like foggy or anything like that. Also get that with the lavender quite a bit. That's why it's one of my favorites.
That's a question I had. What do you consider cerebral?
Yeah, people always say heady, cerebral. Here's a question for you. What exactly do you mean by that?
Do you mean like it melts your brain? Does it make you focused? Does it make
Correct,
you feel
yeah.
creative?
For me, cerebral means that you're able to really get in touch with that deep back part of your brain, like Steve's talking, separate yourself apart, but really get into that focus area. And I think they talk about it. There's a gentleman who talks about it like men have certain boxes in their brains, and our favorite box is the nothing box, and we go to that nothing box every time.
Right.
And they did a test and they were able to get a man and he had absolutely zero brain response on the deal. It's like, beep, he's dead. It's just like, but just go beyond the nothing box. And then there's, that creative box and that box that really gets cerebral, in my opinion.
I've always looked at the cerebral more towards the side of, spacing out and just being able to like escape things and like, almost like just, yeah.
I'd say it works both ways. I'd say cerebral is more of it just it makes your head feel kind of heavy, and you're either going to be super spacey, or if you focus in on that, you're going to be like so able to hyper focus on things and get really creative and just really focused on things. Or you can just focus on that just fuzzy head feeling and just totally space off. I think
like
it kind of
drifting
can
through the
play both
clouds.
ways in that cerebral state.
I think it also depends on the outcome you're trying to achieve too. If you're still wanting to stay awake, of course, then you're going to get focused or hyper focused on an activity or something. That's why I like just mindless work that's repetitive. You just focus on it, like doing something, like mowing the lawn, right? Just going out there, you're going back and forth. That's it. But then if you're wanting to go to sleep, then that's where you go to that zero zone, that nothing box that we have.
Yeah.
And that's where I want to be. I just want to be black. I'm not thinking about anything. I'm not nothing, not thinking about my next project,
Right.
or nothing. I'm just there, and then I don't even feel my body anymore, and then boom, I'm out.
Then the alarm goes off and then you're
And then I'm like,
I'm
what?
refreshed.
I was just in paradise.
Bring my
With no
nothing back.
cheeseburger, but I was still there.
Very
Steve
awesome.
saying, Steve Kirk in the chat talking about the apples and bananas from Holistic. I've had apples and bananas from several different dispensaries. And yeah, it is quite delicious. I hope that you are.
We actually
enjoying
had
that.
some brought in from 406 Essence, at Mr. Kaliman on Instagram. He's a grower over there. Hooked us up with those strains, episode 8,
Yeah,
9,
some time
something
ago.
like that. And we had an apples and bananas in there, and that was actually really superb.
Well, I'd definitely love to get over there to Holistic here sometime soon and purchase some of their apples and bananas, try that out. We'd love to go around to every place, try out what they got, because most people in Montana are growing some pretty good stuff. And there's definitely some interesting flavor profiles as well between how people garden differently.
For sure.
And I always find it interesting when I go to another state or something, and everybody talks about how good their state is, or this or that, and I'll try out their local fare, and I was like, seriously, you guys think I guess Montana just knows how to grow stuff here better. Everywhere I go, it generally does not compare to Montana.
No,
Yeah,
I
agree.
agree.
For some reason, whether it's our altitude or that we actually care about our product,
Right.
I don't know, but everybody claims to be the best, but I'm partial to Montana.
I think it also has to do with the fact that Montana has more of an agrarian, connection. We're more connected to gardens and to the farmer rancher kind of lifestyle. We're not too far removed from everybody having a garden in their backyard. So we can rely on a little bit of wisdom and knowledge from the older generation.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's a lot of the kids or the younger kids, millennials right now that are doing it, but all their parents were farmers or had gardens or that. So it is nice to see something that brings kids back into an agricultural type environment too.
Yeah.
And that really is prompting it, whether they do go into to farming cannabis or into corn.
Yeah.
Just bringing it back.
Well, and even hemp, obviously we're talking about low THC percentages, something that's not going to probably get you high or anything. But getting back into that hemp production, that agricultural textiles, all the things that we could produce, from that particular plant and entity, I think that's a really important discussion. And if we could start teaching them in FAA and other things, or FFA, Future Farmers of America, those kind of programs in school, like, hey, here's a little hemp field. This is how you need to take care of it. These are the pests that are dealing with. These are some of the issues. We might really turn our state back around and the country back around of being, an actual producer of something.
Speaking of like hemp and hemp products, I was at, I want to say Tractor or Shipkins or something like that the other day. And I was in the dog section looking for a new toy for the pup. And I actually found a whole selection of hemp-based dog toys. And I was honestly like super shocked. They were all hemp fiber, 100% natural, just like a couple different like soft plushies, some hard chews. And I was like, dang, holy cow.
Definitely got to check that out.
Yeah, there's no end of ways that hemp is useful, it turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our dogs, whenever we harvested the plants and stuff, they would actually tear the root balls up with their teeth and really enjoy tearing them up and eating them. So I think they probably would do pretty well for hemp toys.
Oh, yeah. I bet they clean their teeth real well.
That makes sense.
Yeah. That would probably be good for cleaning their teeth. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
With our pit bulls, I don't think they'll last very long.
So actually, ones that last a while, at Shields, they have these like compressed fiber ones that are coated in leather. Those ones last forever, and they keep your dog's teeth really clean. Diesel has like 3-4 of them, and I think the oldest one is like yay big compared to what the original is.
That's
so
awesome.
they last forever. Not the ropes, but the rest of the toy does.
Well, cool enough. What do you think we get into some trivia questions?
Oh no.
That sounds like we're about there. Yeah, we're right. We're right on track. We're perfect.
We're cruising along.
Mr. Burns out there in the comments.
I'm not gonna lie, man. The
Got
coffee,
Christy?
the coffee is really, really good coffee.
Is it the coffee or is it? I mean, the coffee's great, but is it the coffee or is it the butter?
Yeah.
It's the whole thing.
I like to think it's both.
It's the combo.
Yeah, I'm
Sure.
not gonna lie, guys. I did double the butter in Adam's coffee because he always likes to say that edibles don't affect him. So I just wanted to make
Here we
sure
are,
that he got a good cup of
Well,
coffee.
yo,
today.
I'm like super tired too.
He's like, I gotta go to
so good to one.
And I still gotta go back tonight for more work. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be a good one, dude.
Oh man, dang.
All right, guys. That is.
Give me a minute to find this.
So the other
Everybody
thing
get
we've
their
got
sticky
coming up
notes.
is. Oh, sorry. What were you saying, Hannah?
I was just saying, everybody get their sticky notes ready.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Hey, this would be a good time to say don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, all those good things.
What?
Nice work, Tanaka.
Like, follow,
What?
share, and subscribe.
And
There, I just gave you a tune.
the other
There,
thing we
make it sound
should cover is who we got coming on next week. I think we have Tamarack from
yeah.
up in the Flathead Valley.
Yep.
Ooh.
We're
They'll
gonna
be
having
joining us.
Aaron from Tamarack joining us.
Cannabis.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Tamarack Cannabis. And then should be some prize giveaways coming up as well. So, you guys are going to want to make sure that you're following, make sure you're sharing, invite all your friends so that they can get in on some of these cool giveaways. I mean, we gave away, I would say Doug gave away a Dr. Daba Khalifa Kush edition last week, and that's something that I think everybody wanted to be in on.
Oh yeah, and the duplex, the ooze pin, the automatic grinder, the Dr. Dabber Ghost. That all went out last week.
You just never know when we're just going to drop a big giveaway, and we're not always going to announce them because we want people who are actually following and listening and subscribing and doing all that stuff to be the ones that are out there supporting. Right. And we want everybody to win something, but those people extra special.
Yeah. Before we get too far, I just want to give ourselves a little clip later, but hey, if you have any big hemp industry contacts out there and they want to get a crew out there to film and talk about what the hemp industry is up to, we'd be more than happy to attend. So
all right, guys,
I'm
going to play our little stoner song, but it's a lot shorter.
Stoner trivia, so if you need a quick buff, get it.
You got
smoke them if you got them. 30 seconds.
Smoking like a Rasta, feeling so high. We talk about cannabis and getting fly. Are you smarter than a stoner? Let's find out. Listen up, my friends, I got something to shout. Cannabis knowledge, let it flow through your mind. Getting blazed, smoking loud, we all unwind. Trivia questions, can you keep up the pace? Let's see if you're sharper in this smoky haze.
We're back.
Oh, woo! All right, we're right back, and we'll get right into those trivia questions here in just a second. We're having just a small bit of technical difficulty.
Yeah, it's not pulling up for me. So
technical difficulties. We can read them off the screen.
Michelle and I aren't double clicking everything.
Answers.
Yeah, we can guess. We can argue about the answers. That's way fun.
All right.
Yes.
Daniel.
All right. Ready?
Let's throw this up.
I mean, I guess so.
Yes.
Okay.
Are we smarter than each other?
Can we
it's
all
still
agree
fair.
on a single answer?
No.
That is the question.
Well, for the
All right,
most
don't
part,
forget
we
to
do.
comment, guys.
I guess it's just who's the most convincing,
Will someone toss me a marker, please?
All right.
Oh, yeah. I see one right here.
Thank you.
Okay. Are we ready? Questions?
All right, I got just answers here.
All right.
You sent it in an email, didn't you?
Yeah, but
Yes,
she
but-
keeps the answers.
I keep the answers in a document on my private account, and it's like that whole document isn't pulling up in my docs. It's like just poof gone.
Poof gone.
Guess we're gonna have
Oh,
to
if I don't understand the goddamn feeling it's like to open up a document and it'd be just poof gone.
Proof gone.
Poof gone. Just damn.
Oh man, one time.
Work on a floppy disk. Gone.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Oh, you know what? When I started college, everything was handwritten. In the middle, we had to start typing it, and I had do you remember the word processors?
Yep.
Where you literally typed everything on a screen this big and then
Yep.
hit print and hoped you had it right?
Apple works.
And then by the time I was done, I was financed into one of those Dell computers for like 5 years. So
I want to throw this out there, Kai. I feel you. The answer was yes.
Kai has thought that the first question was, "Are you smarter than a stoner?"
I answered that one too.
Oh, that's great. Okay, well, Tanaki,
right.
go ahead and go. People are already answering.
Montana
Alright,
leaf soil lines.
So, number one, what is the purpose of super cropping in cannabis cultivation? A, to improve nutrient uptake by trimming roots. B, to intentionally stress plants by bending branches, increasing growth and bud production. C, to increase THC levels by extending the flowering period. Or D, to reduce the height of the plant for better light exposure.
This is going to be a hard one to argue
Yeah.
about, but I think I have one definitive answer that I think is probably the most likely reason you would do it. But really, you could do it for a couple of different reasons.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, for sure. I would say
So
my
the
first
official-
guess is going to be D. Yeah, to reduce the height of the plant. Probably
D.
most people who learn about super cropping, in my opinion, are going to be like, "Uh-oh, my plant's 1 inch from my light. What do I do?" It's like you got to super crop it.
I'm going to go with B. And I agree with you on D as well, though.
Right. But if you guessed B, I would agree with you in the chat. Yep, open it up
I
a
would
little.
definitely say B and D are the most predominant answers.
Wouldn't B be LST, low string training, bending the branches down and tying them out to create
I think what
stress?
it is
Yes,
talking
but
about
super cropping
is
is
a hard 90.
I mean, some people call that low stress.
I mean,
I would argue
It's
the low,
still-
but I've seen them do it. I'm like,
intentional
damn.
stress.
I wish we had a
Intentional
picture of
shit.
that one plant.
I prefer the Ace weed trimmer for super cropping.
Yeah, that was incredible to see.
It is
So-
a good question. Good question, though. A little bit of a trick. I agree, Kai.
All right, number 2.
Number 2. Why is pH important in cannabis cultivation? A. It affects the plant's ability to absorb light. B. It determines the plant's growth speed. C. It influences the plant's ability to absorb nutrients. Or D. It controls THC production in the plant.
I think this one has a pretty definitive answer.
Littering
I've seen a
and
C in the chat. C from Hannah.
Definitely C.
littering.
C. Lots of C's all around.
I would definitely say C.
Steve just kind of sort of touched on how pH levels can affect some farming stuff. What was that exactly?
Yeah, I mean pH. It's always critical in making sure your soil is pH balanced, or else your crops don't grow because your plants aren't getting the right nutrients, or you're too acidic, or this or that.
Yep.
I know alfalfa is very sensitive on its pH.
So what's some of the ways of amending the soil to adjust
A lot
that
of
pH on
people
the
use
macro?
lime.
Okay.
They'll spread lime all over their fields, especially for like alfalfa to raise the pH. On it.
So that's that big pile of white stuff you typically drive by a field and see it
that's
stacked out there.
lime and stuff. And
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
That's awesome. Well, there you go. Turns out farming is kind of like growing weed.
Who would have thunk it?
out of buckets instead of out of a huge field.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody tell Congress.
Yeah, nobody. Oh.
Got electrolyte.
All right. Add her back in.
Water sucks.
I think we can all agree that C, yep, it influences the plant's ability to absorb nutrients. And actually, there's some really helpful charts. If you're having a pH imbalance in your plants for marijuana, I don't know if it's a marijuana scientist thing, but they figured out exactly what the optimal ranges are per nutrient for the marijuana plants. So if you're a little low on nitrogen, it wants 6.4 to 6.8 and so on and so forth. Of course, depending on the soil and so on.
Yeah, definitely. And I really, one of the things we use the advanced nutrients, I really like the fact that they try to self pH and balance themselves. So as you add the nutrients into the water, it tries to adjust that pH for you. Of course, you got to check that yourself with a pH pen.
Always got to be sure.
Or some sort of apparatus. You can get the test strips, but typically pH pen's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
pH or pot, people. pH or pot.
Yeah, I bet you didn't know that most pot growers are actually chemical scientists.
There is some mixing of some things that goes into the whole equation here.
Daniel and I mix about 10 newts a night.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, I can only think of one of those newts though. Fuck that newt.
Number
The crab
3.
and shrimp meal.
Oh, dude.
Just kidding. We skipped right to number 4.
Okay, number
Hey,
4.
nice.
Oh,
I did.
okay. Yep.
Yep.
3 is
Look it up. We are
That was
3
my
was
bad
too
making
hard. We
the
canceled that
slides.
one.
Yep.
We were just saying we were good at equations, man. Fuck, we messed up.
We can't even count.
Only even numbers tonight, folks.
The 3 was silent.
Oh, fimming. Oh, fun. Who's gonna explain what fimming stands for? But I guess we'll get there.
All right. So number 4, what is fimming in cannabis cultivation and how does it differ from topping? A, fimming removes 50% of the top growth, encouraging multiple new shoots, while topping removes the entire top node. B, fimming is a technique to stress the plant and delay flowering, while topping promotes easy flowering. Or C, fimming is used to defoliate plants during flowering, while topping is used in the vegetative state.
I've got this one. I know about this. And there's a little fun story about what fimming stands for at the end.
Everybody's pretty quiet.
I
Well,
have no,
I'm
I have
just
no
stuck,
clue.
dude.
I am.
I'm gonna have to say,
Adam's sitting here like,
Gosh, damn it. It really is difficult because you really are like, all right, go on, Daniel.
all right. I believe the correct answer is A. Fimming stands for fuck I missed. It's when you're trying to top, but you didn't quite get it. So you remove 50% of the top growth, which encourages multiple new shoots. So you essentially end with 3 mains instead of 2, but none are going to be as efficient as topping.
And a great way to do some fimming is with an ace weed whack.
Yes, indeed. Yep. So that's what fimming
right.
is.
Was it Ace is the place with the? So we need to have that queued up, guy. Just fucking have it on push button.
I've never had the opportunity to try fimming myself, but maybe it's something I'll try at the home grow next round. Why not?
Yeah.
May as well learn.
Yeah.
You're gonna intentionally fuck I missed.
Yeah,
How
well-
can you intentionally be like fuck I missed?
So you cut. It's where you
finger-
cut.
It delays the. It takes out the whole fuck I missed.
I know it takes it out, but it turns out it is a completely viable way to grow. Like I said, so normally you'd have, if you leave a cannabis plant to grow, you end up with 1 main shoot and then a bunch of branches, right?
Yeah.
But if you cut that at pretty much any point, you end up with 2 main shoots and a bunch of branches.
But then you're just IMing because you're
I know.
intentionally.
That's just
Missing.
topping. Now, if
can
you
still say
fin,
fuck.
you end up
It's
with
fine.
3 instead of 2. That's how that's supposed to work. But we'll see how, I don't know. I guess I'll have to
That's
test it.
right. You can still say fuck while you do it.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
Okay, number 5. What is the most important factor when selecting an outdoor site for cannabis cultivation? A.
have no
Proximity to water. B. Protection from pests. C. Maximum daily sunlight exposure. Or D. Low wind exposure.
I'm going to go with E.
yeah,
E?
I'm going E.
Well, okay. So, what is the most important to you, though? You still have to pick one and then argue it. I've got mine picked.
I believe it
Yeah.
depends on your environment. Because if you're out here in the middle of Montana and nowhere where freaking winds will take down an entire sign buried feet in the ground with concrete posts, you might want to go D. But then if you're in the middle of the desert, you might want to go A. But then, I don't know, if you're in Louisiana or something, you might want to go with B.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to go D. It's A.
A, proximity to water.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I'm really pushing B. We got a lot of shit out here that likes to eat leaves.
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but you also need something with C. Like,
I was
okay,
just-
our property.
I was going to vote C.
If you
So,
grow on the buildings like we have in our building outside, there'd be no big deal because there's a lot of sun exposure. But if you grow on your property, Daniel, you have a tree every 2 feet.
right. Exactly.
So,
And you
there's
could
a
end
whole
up-
different environment, even though we're less than a mile apart.
And also, if your cycle lasts too long, right? Your natural outdoor cycle has too much sunlight for too long, then maximum daily sunlight exposure isn't necessarily what you want. You might want to wait till
So I think we've gotten that boiled down to a common sense answer then. I mean, obviously sun is the most important thing outdoors.
Well, and here's a real question. We were talking to a friend today about what was it, like fast autos or something like that, or probably a
People are
little bit
making
more
faster stuff faster and faster. So
so that could potentially take care of your longer cycle or your longer harvesting on those if they're going to be like, shoot, did he say like 4 weeks to flower?
I vote E. I'm with Nate. He's convinced me because everything you can fix. You can haul water. You can have an integrated pest management system. You can light depth if you really needed to.
Right.
And you can put up wind blockers. So you could solve every one of those problems. So it really depends on money, I guess.
Money is the most important.
Yeah, how much money do you got?
I'm going to
Mr.
say that
Krabs.
C is the most important answer, and that's the one we're looking for.
Probably.
But it would be in all of the above situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
But everything other than C in an outdoor grow situation can be fixed.
C
You
can
can
be
bring-
fixed too.
Or
You can fix that. You just
Yeah.
hang up like black tarps and light dep it.
well, you could
Well,
like
but
to-
if you don't
but
have
on the
enough
opposite
sun,
side.
like,
Oh, yeah,
you
that
would
is
want-
true.
Yeah. So in a
Ooh.
situation where you
Sun.
have too much trees, you don't want to be in an
Yeah.
area with high tree cover where you're not going to get very much sun exposure daily, or down in like a canyon area to where you're only going to
Right.
get like
That
4
makes
hours of
perfect
light a
sense.
day.
So yeah, that is something that you can't really solve. That's why you grow
And-
indoors.
and
I'm just kidding.
also depends on where you are. Alaska during winter, How long are your days? Freaking 20 minutes?
Yeah, you
Okay,
better
well,
have
last
some
guy,
fast
I'm
autos.
thinking anyone's gonna be growing outside there.
20-minute auto flower, like
Person who cracked that code would be a billionaire
Yeah,
instantly.
I think the answer to that is actually the Mr. Krabs answer.
Money.
Okay, number 6. How can companion planting benefit an outdoor cannabis grow? A, it attracts more pests to the cannabis plants. B, it increases the THC content in cannabis. C, it helps improve soil health and deters pests naturally. Or D, it shortens the flowering cycle.
Sorry. Yep, at a bow.
That went
Or
pop.
D, it shortens the flowering cycle of cannabis plants.
It's also important not just in cannabis growing. It's important in a whole bunch of other growing.
Yeah.
Companion growing is huge.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
huge in all farming situations, really.
Yeah, I don't have any verification of it whatsoever, but just talking about linking together our last guest, and some fun knowledge that I learned today about hemp products itself, but it does apparently help clean up soil.
Yeah. So one of the things that is pretty interesting about hemp and the cannabis plant that most people don't realize is it can be used for cleanup of spills, all kinds of different things. But what's interesting is it seems like it doesn't naturally uptake it and make it a part of itself. It will actually precipitate that off through evaporation process and typically get rid of most of any of the uptake from its cleanup process. So it's pretty interesting. There's a lot of good science behind that. And just like all things science, go out and do your own research and decide what works for you.
Hey, Kai, do you want to try rewording that question a little bit? I don't quite understand.
How many questions may teach? How many questions more?
Yeah.
I think
Probably.
there's one more.
Just one. I think
Uno más.
either one or two.
There's
Just
one
one.
more slide.
One more side.
Oh, and we're on the next slide. My teacher. My teacher.
Okay, number 7. Which outdoor growing method helps improve soil structure and water retention while providing nutrients over time? A, hydroponics. B, organic mulching. C, deep tilling. Or D, lining the soil with plastic sheeting.
Yeah, I have a guess. I'm not qualified to answer the
I
question.
actually do remember the correct
B.
answer for this one.
Gotta be B. That's kind of where I'm thinking.
That's my guess. My guess is B.
My guess is also B.
When in doubt, phone a farmer.
Gotta be B.
Seeing lots of B's in the chat.
But then again, I always think, what?
It's playing guitar in our ears. Don't worry about it.
That's hilarious. And I can't hear it.
Yeah.
Seeing lots of B's here in the studio, lots of B's in the chat. And that is going to be the correct answer.
Yeah.
Organic mulching.
Well, awesome.
Crushing it.
Good job, team.
My bird was wrong, dude. There was not like 2 C's and all of that.
We're all smart stoners.
Hey, there you
Hell
go.
yeah.
We're all smart with each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
folks, for
Chat,
playing
absolutely crushing it today. I don't think I saw any wrong guesses at all. I think we all generally consensus on the same stuff.
Most certainly.
I thought you were going to say consent. I was really curious where you were going with that one.
No, I'll be interested to go back and actually potentially find the questions with the answer sheet tomorrow. And I'll rewatch it and see how close we actually were.
Heck yeah. I'm
You'll
really
have to
curious.
caption it so you can correct it. Don't be like any major media. You got to correct yourself and make sure.
Absolutely. Correct.
Yeah, we were wrong about this one.
Listen here, folks. The one thing we have to do as well is throw out there just a quick blurb. Speaking about wrong or not or whatever, we have to give credit where credit is due. Apparently, the Cannabis Control Division this week went and served a cease and desist letter to Wild West Cannabis here in Billings, Montana, making sure to close down their operations, or at least trying to stop their operations. Apparently, there was a lot of test results and stuff that was shown out there that was picked up on the web, and it showed that they weren't selling exactly what they were saying they were selling. They weren't doing any of the testing or anything else like that we were talking about. Something we gone over on this show quite a bit, calling out to it, and they finally shut them down. So cool.
Honestly, it's about damn time. I've known so many people that have gotten really sick from smoking their shit.
Yep. They go there and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know."
No, and they don't tell you either, and all their shit looks legit until they send you out with a paper bag as your exit.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
You're
So, I mean-
your lungs. Sorry.
No, you're good.
We got sick too. I mean,
Yeah, we as a crew got sick. We thought it was cool. They had some cool shit. Fucking seemed to be like we did their dabs. Seemed to be like heavy terp infused though. And we got it for a little bit, and then all of us got really fucking sick. So we stopped going there. Well, recently my parents went there. My folks went there. They got hella fucking sick from just some regular bud.
Yeah,
How long have they
It's
been
about damn
open? Or what?
they were open for quite a while. We had started talking about them
Shockingly
in
long
like
time.
episode, I think 2 or 3 of our show, and finally, they caught on, and they apparently have been investigating them since February of this year, but it's taken them until October. I'm sure they wanted to get everything thoroughly documented and everything else like that. But it seems like if you weren't a licensed cannabis facility and you were openly trying to operate like a dispensary inside billing city limits without all the actual approvals, they should have shut you down a long time ago just for not following the rules, period, that all of us have to follow every day. So anyways, that's quick on that.
Sorry, I blew them.
Oh, yeah. No, you're good.
Absolutely, got to follow the rules if you want to sell weed. It's pretty
So, yeah.
simple. I mean,
That's
it's not that simple, but it's simple enough.
Yeah, I
Follow
agree.
the rules, sell weed.
Specific steps.
Yep.
Well, and I mean, the thing about it is we, need to make sure that we're giving the credit out where we need to give the credit. We gave the criticism. I know I have been giving a lot of criticism on the fact I didn't feel like they moved fast enough, but they at least moved, got it done. So
Mhm.
need to give them that credit.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thank you guys for protecting the industry.
Yep, give them the applause they do deserve.
Woohoo. Absolutely. We also talked to them about trying to come on the show. We're still working on that. That way we can get some information out there from them to everybody else on some of the stuff that they're looking at. But got quite a few other things coming up. We just recently got contacted from the, the Soil Alliance, the Montana Soil Alliance, looking at bringing the Budcast on, doing a tour of some of the farms that are involved there. I think there's like 6 or maybe 8 or 9 farms that they have that are a part of that alliance. Big growing group. So looking forward to that as well.
Gonna be a lot of.
Yeah, Montana Living Soil Alliance.
Well,
We're gonna need a drone up for that, flying over huge fields like that. Just
Yeah, I'll have to get a hold of the pilot.
well, Nate, are you ready to do some news?
Oh yeah. Well, we
Can we
got
do our
quite a
little
bit. Sure.
Oh, we have an
we
intro.
haven't done your intro for quite a while.
And it is shorter. We did shorten all of our videos.
All right, folks. If you want a quick puff, real quick, hit the like, subscribe, share, and follow. Invite all your friends. And there's about 20-30 seconds to go out and smoke them if you got them.
We-
Turn up the lights, let's start the show. Nate's got the scoop you need to know. Cannabis updates fresh and real. Tune in with Nate, it's the big deal. Cannabis news with Nate, let's go. Every story makes you glow. Stay informed, don't be late. Cannabis news with Nate.
All right. That's a quick introduction song there. We'll get right into the news. So this week in cannabis news doesn't just focus on current events. There's quite a bit that's going on scientifically and stuff like that that we're able to break out. There's a lot of studies that have come out that have some interesting results that I think a lot of people will be surprised with. So pot parenting gets a bit of a boost. Yeah, you heard that right. Pot parenting. It turns out that cannabis might just be the secret ingredient to being a better parent. Yeah. So at least a more loving one. A federally funded study published in Parenting, Science and Practice found that parents who use marijuana tend to exhibit more positive parenting behaviors, led by research from the University of Tennessee, Ohio State University, San Jose State University. The study found that 92.3% of parents don't use pot around their kids, but when they do partake, they show more love and warmth. So cannabis is kind of proven to be the answer to maybe some good parenting out there. Not saying it's the fix all, because some parents might not use it to be good parents, but it's pretty interesting.
But it definitely shows that it's not going to make you a bad parent.
Right. And I think it takes away a lot of that stigma that, everybody goes around saying, potheads can't raise good kids, or if their, kids are around smoking pot and stuff like that, it's going to ruin them or do anything of that nature. So I'm glad to see that a federally funded study actually is starting to show
I'm going to
stuff
assume,
like that.
though, that everybody in that study was generally normally functioning adults with, decent behaviors already, and not some of these low lives that all they do is sit there and smoke weed, and they're loving their kids, just parenting themselves the whole time out on the streets. But, it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't, because then it's the potheads that still aren't parenting their kids got an excuse now, and that's the ones that make it look bad for all the people that could really use a little break.
I agree with that.
It makes sense that it makes them a little more warm and loving towards their children, because if you think about it, a parent is so stressed out with everything, whether it be honestly, it's going to be all the financial stuff, it's going to be the stress of the kids, just stress of work, all of that. Well, you think about it, they're taking it all home, and whether they realize it or not, they're going to inflict a little bit of that towards their children, those stresses. And when you smoke some pot, typically all it does is just calm and relax your ass out.
Oh, yeah,
so
I agree.
Then you put that,
Totally
your
with
calm,
that.
relaxed ass out in front of your kids, and you're entertained by them fucking with the toys and flailing shit around. You're like, that's funny.
Yeah.
Hey, Joe
you're
brings
just a
up a
better
good
parent
point
towards
here
kids.
too. It's better than booze. Better than
Yes.
booze.
Definitely,
And I know a ton of
it
people
makes you
that,
more patient.
Yeah.
As a
Exactly.
mother, as a young mom, that was very difficult for me. But yeah, I think it gave me a lot more patience with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely does that for me. For sure.
It's the Calgon that takes you away.
I don't know if she knows that reference.
Holy shit. Yeah, maybe I'm dating myself on that one.
That's right there with Nair.
Oh yes.
Short shorts.
Buddy, if you want to learn how to get a burn, just get some of that in there. Right there.
I do know about Nair, Steve.
Man, my mom gave me a bottle in there once, the sensitive skin
Well,
stuff.
I was talking
used it
about
on
the
my
commercials.
Made
Yeah.
my pores bleed.
I mean, for an adolescent
Yes.
boy, those commercials were fantastic.
They were very awesome. That bikini line was something to pay attention to.
Yep, very nerd.
Very weird.
What kind of other news we got?
It's like moving on to the next damn one. So, unfortunately, Florida GOP no love for legalization, even though Trump has signaled his support for it. Apparently, despite Trump's support for legalization, there's a lot of people in the Florida GOP and also up in the Senate that is sort of hanging up a little bit of our cannabis reform going forward. So people need to get out there, get a hold of their representatives in Florida and get the GOP off the stick, because they're the ones that are holding up most of the cannabis legalization initiatives moving forward throughout the House and the Senate there. So go ahead.
Just mentioning Trump in Florida, I can't believe somebody tried to shoot him again.
You know, I mean,
we can't not mention that.
Take two.
I think Eric Trump actually, his tweet really hit it home. He, explained that there is no reason in the world that any person in politics should have to explain to their 5 children why their grandfather just got shot at again and attempted to be assassinated. But then Matt Gaetz announces today that there is known to Congress through Secret Service, FBI, and Homeland Security, there's 5 assassination squads running around our country trying to hunt a political candidate. Plain and simple fact is you can disagree politically, but there's no damn reason we need to start shooting each other like we're a banana republic, because this is America. And if we want to start acting like a banana republic, we're no damn different than any place else. And what is anybody moving to this country for if we just want to turn it directly into some of those places that are pretty atrocious out there in the world?
No kidding.
I've seen a whistleblower report where they literally knew that this particular spot was a vulnerability and would always station people here anytime that the president was in. And in this particular instance, conveniently,
just nobody was there.
Nobody was there.
Yeah,
Apparently
he
the
was-
popper. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry,
Sorry.
he was leaving his golf place, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was just confirming. I
Mar-a-Lago.
wasn't sure.
He was actually out golfing on
Yeah.
Mar-a-Lago, and then
Oh, shit.
there's a spot in the fence apparently where it's very well known that all the paparazzi use it to take pictures and stuff like that, and so they stalk that pretty frequently. And so it's not like people aren't there, but apparently he was there for like umpteen hours and everything else like that. I mean, it was a long enough time to where somebody could have stopped by and said, "Hey, what the heck you doing here, pal?"
What I find really interesting is both this shooter,
Oh, yeah.
Both this shooter and the last one both did commercials for BlackRock.
Right.
That's weird.
Just a coincidence.
I think there's a lot more conspiracy going on than what we're knowing, but I mean, there's no proof of it that we have, so it's like you can't say it, but it's definitely deeper than a couple of nut jobs.
There was no proof of UFOs until everybody in the government started showing that there was proof of UFOs as well, and that was supposedly just a big conspiracy theory.
I'm just saying, BlackRock wants to start hosting shooting classes. I wouldn't invest your money in it. Apparently, that's not their fucking specialty, dude.
Are you serious?
I mean, you would think, but apparently they're fucking 0-2. 0-2
Yeah.
on
Damn.
clean shots.
Oh,
On a dude who
they
wasn't
need
even paying
to be
attention or
taken
shooting
from-
back or anything. Like, shit.
They're doing a bad job.
Maybe they're good at like building stuff, but they're just not good at hiring people. Maybe they need to get a better HR department.
BlackRock doesn't do anything. They just steal money and invest it. That's it. Buy things and invest.
They
suck at investing in people, apparently.
Well, I mean, they apparently don't suck at investing in patsies, though. I mean, they have a lot of Lee Harveys out there. So anyway.
He got her done.
Credentials, this other dude didn't have no credentials. He was just in a BlackRock commercial.
Well, two of them apparently now. So, it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
That's better.
But, the one thing that I can say that seems to be a pretty good fad out there is people doing some rebel shit. So Georgia Pharmacy rebels against the feds. Georgia, they're in full rebel mode right now, with pharmacy opening up and selling medical marijuana despite federal warnings from the DEA. They basically said, go kick rocks. We are going to sell this shit. And if you want to come after us, get it done. So, yeah, shout out to the people there in Georgia for really bucking it. And I'm really, really interested to see how this plays out. You guys spent some time down in Georgia in that area, didn't you?
Yeah, when I was little, I lived down in Georgia. I moved by the time I was like 10, 11.
Right.
So I don't have too much memories. I remember the house, cute little brick house, 2 fat little palm trees out front.
Very nice.
You must
Backyard
live down
flooded
by
like hell.
Savannah then, didn't you?
We live in Hinesville. It's like 20 minutes out of Fort Stewart.
Okay.
Military brat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's
I think
pretty
we were-
close to Savannah, though.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
about an hour and a half out of Savannah.
Okay.
Well, I
It
mean,
wasn't too much of a travel. Girl Scouts was founded there. I was a Girl Scouts kid.
I think when you come from Montana, like anything in Georgia is close to Savannah. I mean, because the state is like 2 minutes wide.
Yeah, no kidding. I found that
Yeah.
anywhere outside of Montana is the case. Yeah.
A couple hours from the beaches. They were always covered in jellyfish.
Did you guys know that the most remote city in the whole United States is Glasgow?
Glasgow, Montana. Holy smokes.
Damn.
It's
I know
4
they're.
hours from any major city.
Yeah, that's the interesting part. I mean, even going to Canada, right? So they can't even escape to Canada to a big city. No Tim Hortons for you, buddy.
There's nothing.
Saw that
anywhere.
stat earlier this week. Thought that was a good one.
They probably like it that way.
I'm sure they do. I would.
Good news coming out
Have to
of
pee.
good news coming out of Illinois. So out there in Illinois, they decided, and the courts have decided that the smell test is no longer valid for police officers. They cannot just roll up to your window and be like, "Hey, I smell burnt marijuana." That is no longer probable cause in the state of Illinois. So congratulations to them.
Whoop, whoop.
Well,
That's
weed
huge.
legal there. So what kind of problem will come? Like, yeah, I smell burnt weed. Like, I'm sure you do, dude. Like,
There smells
Well,
like
you
that
know,
everywhere.
In your car.
The other important fact about it is if you're going to a Grateful Revival song or you're hanging out a Snoop Dogg song concert, you can probably light it up, and they literally cannot say, well, the smell of burnt marijuana is something that I can arrest you for, because that's sort of where the Supreme Court said it as well. Like, even at a concert, you can't really say, "Hey, I smell burnt marijuana on you. I'm going to arrest your ass." Not happening.
like, I smell burnt marijuana on you, sir. Like, this whole building smells like burnt marijuana. What are you talking about? I can't
Wasn't-
even see you.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the purpose of going to a Grateful Dead or a damn Snoop Dogg concert, is to burn marijuana.
I don't know
Didn't
what you're
Snoop
talking
stop
about.
smoking though?
No, that was all a meme. So
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
He wanted to sell some fire or smokeless fire pits.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Anything to make that bag, Snoop. Anything.
Get it, buddy.
That guy's classic.
Yeah.
Pimping ain't easy, buddy.
We've got his cookbook. Maybe we should do
Oh,
some of his
shit.
recipes.
Literally.
Hey, see, there we go.
Did you guys watch Snoop at the Olympics with Martha Stewart?
Dude,
Yeah.
that was the best part of the Olympics. That's all I watched.
They need to have him hosting more events because the rest of the team was awful. Snoop was the only thing making it happen.
Yes.
You know, with the Snoop and Martha, he had to have her with him because he's afraid of horses.
Oh, he was really afraid, but he come out loving them.
You know,
Yep.
He like wants to buy one now. Make it do the crib walk.
He's gonna have some horses. You know he's gonna be all horsed up.
Next year we'll see Snoop with his cowboy hat on. Coming to
Good.
I got some horses in my
I
pocket.
cannot wait, dude.
I would
Snoop
totally
Dogg country
host that.
album incoming.
Holy
You say
shit.
that, and Snoop Dogg's gonna buy up a whole bunch of that public land, and you're gonna be like, Snoop Dogg's the next Tim Cheese.
Fucking shady Snoop
But
Dogg.
Snoop makes me laugh, and comic is all. I'll take that.
Like, he bought up public land. It's like, yeah, but he grew a whole bunch of weed on it. So just
He's just a cool dude. He
Wait.
likes crip walking horses.
We've
Oh,
got
yeah,
Shady Snoop and his crip walking horses.
I bet he would love to come to this podcast if he owned some property in Montana.
Snoop, if you're out there, I'll sell you some property in Montana so you can come to our podcast. Hook it up.
enough,
buddy.
1 square inch.
I tell you what, you can ride a horse too. We'll make that happen.
We've got horses.
Hey, Steve, can you make your horses crip walk?
No, I'm
should-
not
you
that
should.
good of a trainer. I'm barely
Damn.
riding my
Hey,
Hey,
horses
Steve, the
yet.
correct answer is yes.
Yeah. We
I
could
can
find
train
a horse.
Snoop's horses to crip walk.
Yes.
For the right money, buddy, we can train your horse to do anything.
For the right weed, we can make your horse do anything.
He can line dance, he can crip walk, he can actually break dance better than the girl at the Olympics.
I think the dog could break dance better than the girl.
I'm pretty sure I've seen Diesel break
Hey,
dance.
I heard that she actually got rated #1 because she's now the most exposed breakdancer in the world, and also arguably she is the most famous breakdancer of all time. So she really
She
came out
really
on top.
Did it, yeah.
I
Talk
guarantee
about
you.
failing uphill, man. Holy
Dude, no
shit.
kidding. You can't even fuck it up bad. Like, you just, everyone makes so much fun of you become #1 in the world.
But it's funny. She's still very offended about everybody making fun of her.
Well,
She
Well,
really
he did
thinks
it to
that her
herself.
dance
I mean,
was the
she
best.
apparently is a professional in cultural fucking dance movement and studies. I mean, I would hate to see her students, bro. Like,
right.
they are getting led by the blind. I'm sorry.
well, what is it they say? Those who can't do teach.
And those who can't teach PE,
I mean,
teach breakdancing.
but she did an interview. She was like, "My friend said I was really good." I was like, "It's not your friend.
This is
That
the
is
yellow
not your friend."
Olympics.
the Russian judges said that she was good. I mean, come on, bro. They gave
Well,
her
hell
the
yeah,
win.
they were like, "Yeah, she's good." Well,
Did she do that Slav squad? Is that what got her? Or?
But the thing with friends is friends lie for you. Best friends tell you the freaking
Amen to
truth.
that.
Yeah,
And if
yeah.
you really want to hear the total truth, just go talk to your parents.
Oh,
Yeah.
or
Uncle Steve will hook you up.
Oh yeah.
Gotta love
Well, shoot.
So we've got a couple more pieces of news to really hop over through here real quick. We've got Warren and Daines. Yeah, that's right. Democrat and Montana Senator Steve Daines. So they've been working together for the cannabis banking bill, and unfortunately, they are talking about the fact that they don't have enough GOP support in the Senate right now to get that banking bill moved forward. So what needs to happen right now is everybody needs to get on the phone to their senators in every state out there. Mr. Burns, everybody call out the dogs, release the Kraken, put some damn mud in their post office box, whatever. But let them know that you need them to vote on this banking bill. Get the hell off the stick. Allow cannabis businesses to stop hiding their damn cash under the mattress, under grandma's mattress, under Uncle Steve's mattress. He has a shotgun.
Don't go near Uncle Steve's bed.
But, you know, I mean, it's just time for us to move forward as a country with this. We've moved forward through so many states with legalization. It's time for businesses to be able to bank like anybody else. So get out there and put some pressure on them, folks. We need your help. Medical marijuana.
Do you fear that if the weed industry is able to go into banking, that the industry as a whole will become potentially too corporate, like most things that enter into the
banking doesn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah, you know, yes.
Oh yeah, you'd be surprised what banking.
It's already doing it anyway. So it's going highly corporatized, even in Montana. We have these big, 50,000 square foot operations that are funded primarily from Colorado operations that grew so large, and now they're here. Merriment, there's several others out there who have big backing from big corporates, giants that are from around the country. So we're seeing that all the way across the board. What we're going to have to do, and it's like all industries, there's going to be a balance. Obviously, people go out and they buy Budweiser quite frequently just because that's what's available, mass produced. I mean, and so there's always going to be that mass produced corporate cannabis that's out there. But then there's people who like to go out to, Angry Hanks, sit down, have a good microbrew, sip on, a couple of different varieties of microbrew. And I think that's where the smaller stores are going to come in. They're going to have that boutique variety that they're going to be able to offer. But it's just going to be a balance as to which ones are going to win out and which ones are going to be able to maintain, and I think variety is going to be the key. But wise.
There we go. I was wondering if somebody else was going to pick it up as soon as you said Budweiser and you're talking about dating things, and I was like, yeah, I remember the Three Frogs, dude. Like,
yeah. And Budweiser, we're not trying to infringe on any of your bullshit. We were just making a joke. Thanks.
Right. We prefer to say smoke.
Bud.
Well, I was going to say
smoke.
Fur. Yeah.
So a couple of real quick things. Medical marijuana, more than just pain relief. So I know that the Cannabis Control Division tries to tell us that we cannot make any medical claims or anything related to the fact that it does any particular things. But here's the deal. A new study has revealed that medical marijuana leads to significant improvement in patients' physical, social, emotional, and pain-related quality of life. Published in Frontiers of Pharmacology, the study shows that patients use medical cannabis experience better overall well-being, with many reporting improvements in sleep and reduction in chronic pain. These results are promising and underscore the potential of cannabis as a therapeutic tool.
Well, they said we couldn't say it. We're not saying it. We're saying that they said it. Yeah.
And you know what? I mean, we can also refer people to studies out there that are basically saying, hey, there's some information out there. Go find them. There's some studies here. Maybe we'll throw them up on our webpage. So you guys got some links to them.
I can't wait for them to try to tell me that I can't quote the National Institute of Health.
Absolutely.
Oh man, it's so exciting.
Which leads us to our next one with the National Institute of Health. So cannabis and cognitive functioning. Daniel was able to locate this a little bit earlier today. He sent it over to me. What this study did is it looked at some of the cognitive functioning and how cannabis affects that. The study seems to suggest, at least this study suggests, that using cannabis early on before the brain is fully developed may lead to sort of that permanent foggy brain situation for a lot of people. But if you wait until a little bit later on into the brain development levels, that seems to be less of an effect. People don't have that foggy brain as much when they're using cannabis. especially after they stop. But it can also have some potential benefits for Alzheimer's patients, helping coat the brain, doing some of the things that are necessary to make sure that there's those protective proteins there. And so, I mean, obviously there's some good potential benefit out of that for a lot of people out there who are afflicted by some pretty bad diseases, because I don't know if you guys have seen anybody with Alzheimer's, but it can be pretty devastating to them and their family.
And we don't have anything to work on that right now, as far as I'm aware. So like no medicines or anything like that. So if we had a breakthrough and they found an individual compound within cannabis that does treat or cure or help with Alzheimer's, it would be a huge breakthrough.
Yeah,
it would be massive.
And you were saying, I think it was what is the CBDN or one
THCV.
THC? Okay,
THCV specifically is one of the compounds that they're highlighting as highest potential. But again, you know, this is still early research. It's just one of those many exciting things that the continued legalization offers, because we will continue to see more and more actual nationally backed studies like this. I believe this one was actually funded by the National Institute of Drug Abuse itself. So
yeah, it also the Canadian Institutes of Health Research and the Fonds de la Recherche, whatever the hell that French stuff is, and I cannot even begin. Quebec en santé. The study revealed that acute cannabis intoxication leads to moderate impairments in memory and attention and processing speed, particularly in the short term. However, most of these effects seem to subside after a period of abstinence, especially in adults. So, you know, really, I mean, people like, oh, smoking pot turns you into the hippie stoner. Well, take a tea break, bud.
Yes, it's funny. If you stop smoking weed, you stop being stoned. What? Who knew?
What? Well, there you go.
So, you know, one of the things that they did note is that cannabis use doesn't seem to cause a cognitive decline similar to alcohol use or cocaine use. So they looked at similar patients who used cocaine and alcohol. They seem to have more of a heavy cognitive decline than those who didn't and just simply use cannabis.
I'd be curious at the long-term effects, you know, like this generation that we have now of a lot of daily users and stuff, what their prognosis for Alzheimer's and dementia will be, if it's going to increase the effects, you know, because we won't know for the next 10, 15, 20 years if it created more of a problem or helped the problem. And I'm hoping it goes one way.
Yeah.
But at least you won't care about the problem.
Yeah, I think by the time the results come out, we won't care about the answers, right?
Yeah.
I'm extremely excited to find out the results for that as well. And we will. They're doing the science now. They're publishing these studies. They're all being published 2022, 2023, and so on. It's finally happening, guys.
If it happens, you know, I'm hoping that the cannabis can help bail that out. But the THCV being more of a cognitive protector, but also maybe helping with brain function and making people a little bit smarter.
Yeah, we've covered that before.
Yeah.
I think they need to do some more studies on CBC, because that's that cannabinoid
right
that regrows brain cells.
Okay, yeah,
Also.
that's also
the one that we learned about.
So I wonder, just isolating those two, and I wonder, like, you know, Steve's mixology over here,
right?
Get the super brain strain going on.
CBC and THC all mixed together, and boom, bam, you got yourself a brain growth serum, basically. But no, it's very exciting. I'm excited to see where all this science goes, because, you know,
It's about time.
Yeah, exactly. It is about time.
Well, it's good to see people like the pharmacies out there in Georgia being a little bit rebellious, saying, you know what, we're going to push back. You know, it's time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, awesome.
So speaking of it being time,
I think we're about wrap it up, huh?
It's
been
time.
another
The
great
saddest
show,
movie
man.
ever made.
So catch us next week with Tamarack out there in the Flathead Valley. From every one of us here in the studio, we greatly appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate the love that you've been showing us, and we look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Stay lifted.
Have a great one.
Have a great night, guys.